beautiful people of the UFC YouTube fan base. I'm just going to make sure my audio is good. All right, let me see here. The beautiful UFC. So it looks like it's not. What? I don't think my stream's up. What the heck? Or maybe it is and I'm just dumb. Nah, dude, we're good. We're chilling. Nah, we're mega chilling. Anyways, what's up? What's up? Today I'm going to be streaming until I get a dumb question. And if it takes me sitting here for 12 hours... No, I'm not sitting here and streaming for 12 hours, but that'd be kind of ridiculous. I don't have the time to do that. Unless it's a UFC event where I've literally designated like 8 hours of my life set aside to watch this. Yeah, I unfortunately am not able to do that. However, I am going to be chilling on stream. There's some stuff that I'm going to be venting about to myself, essentially. But if someone ends up popping in, I guess I'll be venting to others. Regardless, though, there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, Magomed Ankalaev just won the UFC light heavyweight championship. And listen, I think at first I was a little harsh on my boy. Magomed Ankalaev might honestly bring numbers to the sport. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but UFC 313 champion belt wrap had the most amount. By the way, obviously a random ass stat, you know what I mean? You can't just like sit here and tell me that, you know, in 2025 that just happens to be the biggest, you know, thing, or the biggest viewing on a UFC belt wrapping, essentially. That's all besides the point. I want to retract a few of my words, bro, because honestly, I don't think Magomed Ankalaev deserves it. At the end of the day, you know, he did what he had to do to win. But let's not act like Poatan was a little lackluster that night. And kudos to both of them. I mean, they're both killers. You know, when you have a big fight like that and both guys, you know, it's different when you got like a big underdog, because then it's a little obvious. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a war. But you have you have confidence to both sides, because on one side, well, you're the dog, you know what I mean? Everyone's doubting you, everyone's going against you, everyone in their right mind is, you know, siding against you, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. Versus when you are on top, you know what I mean? When you are there, you've done that. You've explained to people that you can do it. So you have that high level of confidence too, either way. You know what I mean? It's like, by the way, just munching on some fruit. So my point being, Blades Kuniev is getting rebooked for a third time. I thought it was the second rebooking. Point being, Oh, I'm just putting my stream out to X, to the 3 followers I have on X also. Shout out my homie Zach, bro. Zach follows me on X. He's literally my only follower, I think. Or I might have like one other bot or something, but we'll post it, see if Elon Musk's For You page can cook me up some virality. Sorry, I'm just cooking up some hashtags. Wait, I forgot what I named my stream. What did I name that my stream? Streaming till I get the dumbest question. All right. All right. All right, man. So sorry, I was posting on my, like I said, on my X to the 3 followers, or to the 2 followers I have. I only have 2 followers. Actually, I might only have 1 now that I'm thinking about it. Nope. I got 2. Shout out Bronco Buster and Zach. All right. But yeah, anyways, I literally, my source of news is X, and all I've flooded my page with is literal MMA, like UFC. That's it. So there's a lot that I want to talk about, because I literally hopped on for just a few minutes, and all these thoughts just started coursing through my mind, bro. So there's a few things that I want to yap about. First of all, Magomed Ankalaev, you're growing on me, dude. Please don't mess it up, dog. Why is Magomed Ankalaev beefing with Yuri Prohaska? Dude, you do not want to wake up the samurai. You don't want, seriously though, Ankalaev versus Yuri Prohaska would be a pretty fire fight, but I don't think Yuri's in a position to be calling for a title shot, especially after getting knocked out twice by the guy that Magomed just beat. Convincingly too. I'm not even going to lie. If Poatan would have won, that would have been a robbery. That would have been worse than Francis Marshall and Marian Santos. Anyways, there's a lot. Curtis Blades And Rizvan Kuniev is getting rebooked for a third time, by the way. Third time. That's crazy. So if it doesn't happen next time, it'll be like, yep. No can do, sir. Rafael Fiziev is looking to move down from lightweight to featherweight. Bro. Dan Hooker also came out of his hand surgery looking well and swell, man. Ugh, that looks nasty though, bro. But he looks well and swell. He looks like he's doing a lot better. His hand's all puffed up and stuff, but I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? The guy that literally has a broken hand. I'm glad he got surgery and like didn't try and just let it repair itself. I guess you can't though. I mean, he's a UFC fighter. He literally has to use his hands for a living. Dan Hooker probably won't be back until, I wonder. Hold on. When did he? So he probably got the hand surgery, what, 2-3 weeks ago? So Dan Hooker. So I mean, 2 to 3 months is probably what he's looking at. Maybe even longer, bro. Because he doesn't want to re-break that. That would be tragic. If Dan Hooker re-broke his hand, that would be tragic. So Dan Hooker probably ideally won't be back until maybe even end of the summer. I mean, that puts him out until May, June. Training camp. Maybe comes back in July. Dan Hooker needs to come back ASAP, though. And then Fiziev is cutting down. Rafael Fiziev is cutting down to 145. I mean, I don't really have a comment on this. He's probably going to look good at featherweight, too. It's just how big of a weight cut is that going to be for Fiziev? And he looks pretty good at lightweight, too. He just ran into Justin Gaethje twice, which is like the worst possible thing that could have happened for Fiziev. I'm sure he would have fared against a pretty good amount of top 10s, but Justin Gaethje just... I won 3 of my last 4, only losing in an exhibition fight. I have to fight for the belt. Dana White, I'm ready. That's what Justin Gaethje's calling for, a title shot. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting. Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev does make sense, though. But I do gotta say, if they make some BS with Justin Gaethje and Ilia Topuria, and Justin Gaethje has to face Ilia before he gets a chance at the title, that would be kind of lunatic. That would be kind of weird for Justin Gaethje to even accept, but he did say he doesn't really care at the end of his interview, his post-fight interview with Fiziev. So, hey, listen, Justin Gaethje for the title, I'm for it, bro. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see Ilia and Islam even fight yet. I want to see how Ilia fares up at lightweight. I want to see if, he's able to use his strength in case he does come into a circumstance where someone clips him. You know what I mean? Like a Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier and Ilia Topuria would be an epic fight. But at the end of the day, I mean, UFC has so many bangers lined up from Tom Aspinall and John Jones to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria eventually. Justin Gaethje's now in the mix. Dude, Bilal is fighting Jack Della Maddalena in a few months. You know, given there's no injuries, there's no BS that happens on the way. Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Volkanovski's coming back, and he's coming back to a decently favorable matchup. You know what I mean? Like, the UFC right now is kind of cooking. And I do believe that during the summer, the cards are going to be even... Dude, they have so many matchups just waiting to be created. Now, does Justin Gaethje, fare well against Islam Makhachev? Probably not. But I don't know. I feel like Justin Gaethje could make it a fun fight. Yeah, I mean, people are calling for Gaethje versus Sarukian. No, dude. I don't want to feed Gaethje to Sarukian, dog. I think Arman Sarukian could just out-wrestle him. But honestly, that would be a fun matchup. I just don't want Justin Gaethje to be fighting Sarukian. If anything, either fight. Like Ilia Topuria, I wouldn't mind, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. I really wouldn't mind. But I also wouldn't mind Justin Gaethje fighting for the title. Nope, I've zero interest in watching him get submitted inside of round 1. That's kind of nuts. He probably would get submitted inside of 2, let's be honest. But 1, come on, dude. Give Justin Gaethje some credit. Ankalaev is number 6 on pound for pound, bro. Charles 15, O'Malley 14. Max Holloway's 13. Okay. Leon Edwards 12. Volk 11. Aspinall's 10. Alejandro Pantoja's 9. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a second. Let me just... Leon Edwards, Volk, Aspinall, Pantoja, Bilal. Pantoja disrespect is kind of insane. Pantoja should at least be... How is... Never mind. Pantoja's 9. Pereira's 8. Okay. Bilal at 7. Magomed at 6. DDP at 5. Merab Dvalishvili at 4. And Ilia Topuria at 3, bro. They still got Johnny Bones up there, number 2. And then obviously pound for pound. Pound for pound, number 1, Islam Makhachev. That is, bro, some absolute killers, some fire matchups waiting to be made, dog. They're boosting Ilia. Last time I checked, I could have swore Ilia was like 5 or 6, but it makes sense that they bumped him up. Why? How could you knock out 2 legends back to back? Coming off the knockouts that Ilia Topuria is and not be ranked top 3. Now, who does Magomed Ankalaev face next? Pereira, right? I wonder how long until Magomed fights, though. Because, dude, Pereira was blessing us with fights back to back to back, bro. He was saving cards left and right. There's no way that Magomed Ankalaev is going to step up and fight 4 times, right? Pereira was something else. What's next for Bobby Green? Probably... I don't know. I mean, I feel like Bobby Green could keep fighting as long as he's not fighting like these up-and-coming killers. They just keep feeding Bobby Green to these guys that have, like, insane amounts of just talent coming up. Like, maybe match him up with someone... I don't know. A little bit more suit to his, like... age? I don't know. Bobby Green's been facing a lot of youngins. I don't know if this is real. No, it has to be. MMA Mania. Armin Sarukian calls out Justin Gaethje. He won't watch Chandler and Pimblett bum fight at UFC 314. They're both not good. See, you know what's crazy? Is they're a lot bigger threats than you think, pal. They're a lot bigger threats than you think. Now, let me just also say this. I don't think I saw a take, I want to say like right after the fights, because I hopped on Twitter and people were kind of yapping about it, but I saw someone with an egregious take that Alex Pereira will no longer be champion. And in the moment, I felt like, you know, maybe this was just one of those case scenarios where Alex just fought as a shell of himself. He wasn't really doing exactly what he was supposed to. Maybe he had an injury. Maybe he didn't prepare well enough. Whoever, you know, whatever the case may be. But I saw someone just have like an egregious take at the moment where, you know, they basically just said like Pereira's not even going to be a champion, let alone like top 5. Like the incoming guys, you know, like the Carlos Olbergs, potentially even like Jan Blachowicz again if they fought. You know, all these guys are going to be able to take advantage, especially now that they know, you know, that they're able to just keep him up against the cage, keep him up against the fence. I mean, Pereira really didn't show, you know, well, not necessarily keep him up against the fence clinch-wise, but just control the center. Like, if you're moving forward, you're feinting, you're showing Pereira something, you know, it's 110% possible to beat him. So I just think that they, like, everyone has the new game plan now, and Pereira's at the age where, I mean, he could probably improvise, but on a champion level, he could knock out anyone, though. That's the thing. Pereira's got the power to end a fight in like a second, a split second. But the issue there is that everyone knows that. And after seeing people try and stand with him, you're either going to have to impose your will or just not stand with him, you know? Armin Sarukian's calling out Justin Gaethje. Justin wants to fight Islam. Islam wants to move up. Islam might low-key just vacate the belt and just say, screw it. If I have to vacate to be able to get a shot, like if Jack Della Maddalena beats Bilal, that would be insane. That would, first of all, be insane. There is a chance. Jack Della Maddalena is a freaking dog, bro. But the issue there is Bilal's strength is like Jack's kryptonite. Just pressure wrestling him until he just has no opportunity to do anything. And I think the knees could be game changer, but Bilal's smart enough to understand that this guy is going to try and knock him out as quick as possible. You know what I mean? The longer the fight goes, the more it's obviously going to favor Bilal. He's been there. He's done that. He's been in those deep water situations. And I would argue Bilal has a little bit better, not necessarily cardio, but grappling cardio. So I think Bilal can just wrestle for longer and kind of wear down on Jack Della. You know, there's a chance that Jack Della knocks him out pretty early on, throws a game-changing knee. He did it against Gilbert Burns, bro, in a split second. The fight was going one way, and then it was going another. Alex Pereira became the third fighter in UFC history to be introduced by Bruce Buffer as the one, the only. I had a feeling, dude. When they were doing it, something told me, like in the back of my mind, like, nah, no way. Bruce Buffer isn't going to do the one, the only for Alex. But then I thought, like, bro, Alex Pereira is literally UFC motion. Like, this dude changed the game with a single word, bro. Shama. Had people booing, literally booing in Shamas. Booing Ankalaev in Shamas. Wait, was Pereira ranked number 3? Is that why Ilya Taporia moved up? That makes sense. That all makes sense now. Or maybe he was 4, whatever. No, he had to have been 3. Oh, wait just a flippity second. I gotta listen into this. So Magomed Ankalaev is asked about a rematch. Will there be a rematch? Negotiations are ongoing. So there may not even be a rematch with Pereira. Alex is probably going to take a little bit of time off. Who knows? Magomed might want to fight like ASAP. He didn't really take too much damage, right? At the moment, I don't know. So he doesn't know who's going to be next for him. Interesting, but they already agreed to a Magomed already said yes to a rematch immediately. Oh, and he called his mom. The reporter asked him, "Who'd you call first?" And Magomed said, "Yo, I called my mom just to let her know like my face was fine. Show her my face." And then we're getting a motivational Magomedov. Literally at the end. How hard? So the reporter asked him, "How hard was your path to the title?" You know, for a long time, I understood that there were games against me. Essentially, he says, but they decided not to stop and wanted to set an example for those who want to achieve something to not stop, to keep going forward. That is a literal mythical pull. It's a Russian. It's all in Russian. There's like no translator or nothing, I don't think. Or maybe they edited it out. I don't know. It doesn't look edited. But yeah, that is a mythical pull. Motivational Magomedov, bro. Dude. Oh, man, all the hate that I had. Not that I had a lot of hate, you know what I mean? I was just like in the moment feeling it, you know what I mean? But I've cleared my brain. I've cleared my brain of any sort of, you know, biased. I watched back the fight. I can't lie, man. It's not Magomed Ankalaev's fault. It really isn't. I mean, he did perfect. He literally pressured Alex perfectly. Obviously, he secured that one round when he knew it was like 2-1 or something, or 3-1, whatever it was. He secured that fourth round with a little bit of clinch work, but what are you going to do, man? Wish Pereira could have gotten off the fence. It is what it is. I have a feeling Magomed's going to be a good champ. As long as you don't let him just clinch you up against the fence, Magomed is going to be a good champ. Because when he's forced to strike, Magomed could land. Look at this guy, Arman Sarukian. I understand that Justin Gaethje needs to get a title fight, but he says he has to beat Charles Oliveira or him in order to get to that title. So Justin Gaethje versus Islam then isn't happening. Top 3 guys are beefing and they're literally like calling each other out. Well, he says they're probably going to give me Oliveira or Gaethje or maybe title fight. I don't know yet. Oh, the Schmo asked him, he said, do you think they're going to give it to Ilya? Dang, Arman said no. Or Arman said they're not going to give it to him over Ilya. He thinks so. He thinks Ilya Taporia is going to be the one fighting if it's not him. He wants to fight anyone in the top 5. Makes sense, bro. Makes sense, dog. Dude, also, shout out Ariel Hawani for getting this clip. Rafael Fiziev says, I wish Justin Gaethje could fight for the belt. I wish it so much, man. I think he deserved it more than anybody on this division. If he fights against Islam, I'm with that. I'm with him. That's kind of sick, bro. Imagine Fiziev pulls up to corner Justin Gaethje. And then he goes in after Justin Gaethje. If Justin Gaethje were to win, imagine Justin Gaethje just randomly out of nowhere just clips Islam Makhachev, or like Islam slips like he did against Renato Moicano, and then Justin Gaethje just takes full advantage of it, just fucking swings right at his dome, like the perfect spot on the head. I'm not talking chin, I'm talking like right on the dome, swings and just claps him with a crazy right hook. Puts Islam Makhachev down, out. All of a sudden, he's on his... Dude, I would cry, bro. I would cry both emotional tears of joy, but also emotional tears of sadness and pain, bro. I could not see Islam Makhachev going out like that. If he lost the decision to Justin Gaethje, it'd be a completely different story, but to go out just getting TKO'd in like the first round by Justin Gaethje would absolutely be insane and detrimental to me. Marian Santos says he was surprised a judge scored his fight at UFC 313 30-27 for Francis Marshall, and says the judge don't know ish. I can't believe that. I literally can't believe that. That's crazy. Francis Marshall literally got robbed so bad. Dude, someone said Ilanov said, imagine if all 4 fighting nerds somehow became UFC champions at the same time. That would be absolutely insane. Gene Silva, featherweight, Rufy as the lightweight champ. Oh my God. And then Carlos Prates at 170 welterweight. And then Kyle Varallo at middleweight. That would be hilarious, bro. That'd be so funny if somehow, some way that happened. Wait, I want to check their ages, bro, because I know they're super young. Jean Silva's 28. Mauricio Rufy's also 28. Okay. Carlos Prates is 31, so he's a little bit older. But he is also ranked higher, I'm pretty sure. And then Kaio is 32. Wow, so he's the older. Oh, he's the oldest one. Interesting, bro. Kaio's up there too, man. He just needs like one solid win in the top 5, and he probably is next in line for a title shot. And when he fights, bro, that is going to be an epic fight. Whether he fights a DDP, whether he fights Hamzat. Imavov is going to be an absolutely epic fight too. Imavov versus DDP, bro. I think DDP beats Hamzat. If he gets out of the first round, I think DDP beats Hamzat. But that's a big if. Like, if he doesn't make it out, then again, dude, DDP is so much stronger than like a Robert Whittaker or a Kamaru Usman. Kamaru is strong, but he's a welterweight, bro. I know he's moved up to middleweight recently, but I think Kamaru Usman is gonna move back down to welterweight and probably fight there if he does fight. If he does fight. But I'm looking, I'm like, man, dude. So Kaio, in order to get a title shot, and he's probably the highest rank, he's probably the closest to a title shot out of all these guys. Has Silva cracked the rankings yet? No, he hasn't. Silva hasn't cracked the rankings. I mean, he gets a shot when he beats Bryce Mitchell. But Silva hasn't even cracked the rankings. And neither has Mauricio Rufy. For some reason, I thought Bobby Green was ranked, but yeah, no, he's not ranked. So realistically, Mauricio Rufy is probably the furthest away from a title shot. If Jean Silva beats Bryce Mitchell, he'll hop into rank 13 or 12, maybe, depending on how good of a performance he has. If he can turn around quickly and maybe fight like, I don't know, Arnold Allen? Does Arnold Allen have a fight scheduled? Let me check here. I don't think he does, but he may. Nah, it doesn't look like he has anything scheduled currently. Dude, that would be kind of an epic fight. Silva versus Arnold Allen would be absolutely epic. Silva versus Arnold Allen. If he beats Bryce Mitchell, he'll probably jump to 13 or 12, depending on his performance. Next, his fight would probably be maybe like top 10. So right now it's Lerone Murphy, who's currently booked, if I'm not mistaken. LeBron. Lerone. Yes, he is booked with Josh Emmett. I knew it. I just couldn't remember who it was. If Lerone Murphy beats Josh Emmett, he'll be number 8. I don't see him fighting Jean Silva downward. Arnold Allen. Is Arnold Allen coming off a loss or a win? He's coming off a win, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 2 losses and a win, so he might have to... He might have to fight down a little bit and fight Jean Silva. I don't see Brian Ortega getting it. Yair Rodriguez has a fight. Movsar Evloev. I don't see them feeding Movsar Evloev to Silva. Lopes, Holloway isn't there. Wow, they got to update these rankings. Yeah, no, absolutely. If it's anyone, it's probably going to be Arnold Allen. If Jean Silva gets a crazy quick knockout, he'll probably call out like Arnold Allen or maybe even like a Brian Ortega. Ortega isn't booked. That'd be a cool fight. Brian Ortega might be able to actually submit him too, which is the funny part. But yeah, so realistically, Jean Silva has at least 3 more fights until the title. Depending on his performance. You know what I mean? Depending on how he ends up performing for those 2 fights. If he gets another 2 knockouts, I could easily see them propel Silva to whoever ends up being the champion at the time. You know what I mean? Within 2 years, maybe even a year, because he fights very often. Dude, I could see Silva up there, bro. I could see Silva fighting for a title probably within 3 or 4 fights. Now, Mauricio Rufy, he's got a little bit more work to do. Let me pull up Rufy. Rufy. One shot. Mauricio Rufy is also very young. It's going to be interesting with him too because he's only had 3 UFC fights. This guy's probably going to have to get at least 4, maybe 5 more wins. Then again, he did just knock out Bobby Green, who was just recently ranked. At least 3, maybe 4 more wins for Rufy too. I mean, once he cracks the rankings, that's a fight. Then he's going to have to fight at least 2 more people, assuming, you know, he ends up winning his fights. Yeah, I think Rufy's definitely the furthest away from a title shot. You know, not saying obviously he's I'm not saying anything crazy like he's the least likely to win a title. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's the furthest away from it right now. So he needs at least, I'd say 4, maybe even 5 pretty solid wins, bro. Lightweight is stacked. Lightweight is stacked. I mean, Paddy Pimblett just broke into the top 10. Paddy Pimblett just broke into the top 10, bro, and he's... What's his record in the UFC? 6-0. And he's probably going to need at least 2 more solid wins, too. A win over Michael Chandler, and then maybe you throw Max Holloway in there, since Max Holloway's a lightweight now. Even then, it's like that. He's just cracking top 5 then. You know what I mean? So we'll see, though. But if Paddy the Baddy comes off an impressive win, you know what I mean? He could get up there quick. So all I'm saying is essentially Rufy's got a little bit more work to do. He's got a little bit more work to do than the other gentleman. Carlos Prates is currently ranked number 13. He doesn't have a fight scheduled, at least to my knowledge. And I can't spell. There we go. Carlos the Nightmare Prates. He does have a fight scheduled. See, I'm lacking on this, bro. I am lacking on this. Carlos Prates is scheduled to fight at UFC 314. I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie, bro. This is not news to me. I'm just being an idiot and forgot about it. But if Carlos Prates ends up winning that, he'll be top 10. He beats Jeff Neal. He's top 10. Oh man, what if Prates comes in, knocks Jeff Neal out within like a minute? Like takes absolutely no damage. Is Buckley scheduled? Is Buckley scheduled or what? Someone tell me that Joaquin Buckley is not scheduled. Oh my god, dude. Is he scheduled or what? Oh my god. Buckley is not scheduled? Can the UFC cook or what? This might be the best matchup they could literally make with Prates and Buckley. There's too many people stacked up waiting for a freaking title shot. Winner of Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Shavkat Rakhmonov is next after that. Jack Della Maddalena has a title shot right now. There's too many people in line currently for Buckley to just come in and try and take a spot. You know what I mean? Or even like fight for the title, essentially. Like Buckley probably needs at least one more win in order to get a title shot. And that would be perfect. If Prates beats Jeff Neal, he's top 10. Buckley fights Jeff Neal, and that puts the winner at top 5, knocks out the loser of Sean Brady and Leon Edwards to number 6, and boom, we're solid. We are solid. And then last but not least, Caio Borralho. He is definitely absolutely the closest one to a title shot. I'm just confirming and seeing if he has a fight schedule that I wouldn't know about. The natural. And he doesn't. Okay, good. I was about to say he literally just fought like not too long ago. I'm pretty. Oh wait, no. No. That was Imavov that just fought Jared Cannonier. I'm an idiot. I mixed up those for a second. I'm like, did he not just fight Jared Cannonier? But no, Jared Cannonier just fought Imavov. No, that 110% makes sense then. That 110% makes sense. Kyle is going to fight one guy in the top 5 and then get his well-earned title shot. However, DDP does have some guys in line, dude. Khamzat Chimaev is next. Khamzat Chimaev has to fight DDP. He has to. Like, unless a crazy case scenario happens where he can't fight, he's sick, you know, this, that. Khamzat is next. Feeding Izzy to Caio would be kind of messed up, but I could see them doing something like that. I could see them feeding Caio to Israel Adesanya. What do we do with Robert Whittaker, though? We let him just chill because he literally has a broken jaw. Well, doesn't have it anymore, but he did. Give that time to acclimate and fully heal. That's interesting. I doubt Whitaker and Israel Adesanya are going to fight. I mean, they train together now. Then again, I mean, if it was for a title, I bet both of them would say yes, lickety split. That's not the point, though. Realistically, Whitaker's not fighting Izzy. Io is either going to fight Sean Strickland, or I could see them giving Imavov Io instead of like, yeah, because no one else in the top 5 is going to get a shot at Imavov. Yeah, they could or Imavov would. Imavov is number 1, dude. For all he cares, he could literally sit out and not fight, and he'll end up getting a title shot, even if he drops 2 or 3 rankings. You know, some like Kyle comes in and has a even better performance over Izzy, whatever the case may be. Imavov could realistically sit out. Is he going to? I don't know. Does he want to? I don't know. Maybe he wants to stay active. Maybe he wants to keep in fight shape because he's literally 28 or 29 and in the greatest shape of his life, and he's improving every fight, every split second. He's getting better. Imavov is peak right now, dude. Imavov is literally peak. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, with all that being said, Kaio is probably not going to fight for the title at least until he beats one more top 5 guy or some crazy stuff happens where Khamzat is literally sick. Imavov can't fight because he just broke his finger or something. I don't know. And then they're like, well, what do we do? We're not about to give it to just Robert Whitaker. I mean, DDP already knocked him out. Well, what do we do? We're not just going to give it to Israel Adesanya because DDP literally submitted him. Well, what are we going to do? We're not going to give it to Sean Strickland because DDP beat him arguably both times. I still think Sean Strickland won that first fight. But you could argue. I mean, it's a fair decision either way it goes at that point. That's how close that fight is. Regardless, Sean Strickland isn't getting it either. Sean Strickland is not going to get a 3rd title shot against DDP. If someone else comes in, fights, wins, maybe Sean Strickland could sneak in there, but Sean Strickland is not going to be sneaking in for a title shot. So if Khamzat Chimaev isn't able to fight, and then Imavov is also not able to fight for some reason, Kaio could sneak in. He could fight for that title like immediately. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they are going to book the Khamzat fight successfully. I think DDP is probably going to defend against Khamzat. I don't think Khamzat's just going to have his way with DDP. But who knows? I've been wrong before. Anyways, Khamzat Chimaev, DDP is next. Imavov is literally right in line for a fight after that. And then Caio Baralho. He'll probably fight for the title within like the next 2 fights. Who knows how long that's going to be? Maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. Unless he skips the line. But Caio is still the closest one. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it mistaken. Even though he has to fight probably another top 5 guy, Prates, like I said, is going to have at least 2 or 3 more fights. Plenty of guys lined up in his division. Mauricio Rufy isn't even ranked, and lightweight is probably one of the deeper divisions as far as talent goes. So, lightweight, we could definitely not see Mauricio Rufy fight for a good amount of time. Sorry, I just had to answer a text. But regardless, Mauricio Rufi's definitely the furthest away. The lightweight division is too deep for him to just like be right there to fight for a title. And then Jean Silva is right there too, bro. Jean Silva is literally right there. I mean, at any moment, if Jean Silva can win a pretty convincing fight over Bryce Mitchell, for all we know, I mean, the UFC rankings are literally so random, they could put Jean Silva at number 10. And then they're like, yo, let's give him Brian Ortega. And then he fights number 6 ranked Brian Ortega and somehow gets bumped up like to 4 or even 3. And then next thing you know, he's fighting for the title. I mean, Jean Silva, for some reason, why do I feel like he could literally jump the line? I mean, Lopes and Alexander Volkanovski, the two who literally are owed rematches and title fights again, those guys are fighting each other for the title. Regardless of what happens here, I highly doubt they're going to do an immediate rematch, unless it's one of the most competitive fights we've ever seen. But I do think it's going to be a little bit more one-sided. Hopefully to Volkanovski's way, but I could see Diego Lopes coming in and absolutely taking over this fight too. Regardless, Diego Lopes, Alexander Volkanovski, boom. Max Holloway's gone, boom. Movsar Evloev is next. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Movsar Evloev is going to fight literally a few months after the Volkanovski and Lopes fight. Ideally, Movsar Evloev is going to get his title shot within the next 4 or 5 months. Okay. Then what? Yair Rodriguez, Patricio Pitbull? Dude, if Silva comes in and dominates Brian Ortega the way he's been doing to everyone else, or even like an Arnold Allen, I would hate for Jean Silva to fight Arnold Allen because I love Arnold Allen, man. Arnold Allen is such a cool guy, bro. Arnold Allen is super chill, and I love watching him fight too. He's a dog. I could see him fight up, have a very good, very convincing, argument for why he should fight for the title, and then jump cut, the winner of Yair Rodriguez and Patricio Pitbull. You know what I mean? And if Evloev hasn't even fought by then, I could see the UFC doing some effed up stuff to find a way to get Jean Silva in a title fight. I could see it. But Jean Silva, like I said, at least 3, maybe even 4 fights away, depending on his performances. Mauricio Rufi's probably 5, maybe 4 or 5 fights away. Mauricio Rufi's the furthest away for sure, for sure. Carlos Prates is like 3 fights away. And there's Caio, who's literally like a fight away. Caio is literally a fight away from fighting for a title fight. So it'll be sick. I mean, simultaneously, can they all do it? Can Caio come in, win a fight, and then defend at least twice? I think he would have to defend. I think he would have to defend at least twice before Mauricio Rufi finds a way to make it up and get a title shot. You know what I mean? Carlos Prates, Caio, and maybe even Jean Silva, I could see them simultaneously holding belts. But for some reason, I just feel like Rufi is going to take too long for them to be able to do something like that. It'll be interesting, though. It'd be so sick if we had Carlos Prates as the UFC welterweight champion, Caio Borralho as the UFC middleweight champion, and then we had Jean Silva at featherweight, bro. That would be absolutely epic. That would be crazy, dude. A fighting nerd can dream, eh? That would be absolutely epic. I'll be right back. BRB. Man, oh man, here we go again. Man, oh man, here we go again. Regardless, where was I? Kaio's a monster. Kaio's a beast. It'd be absolutely epic if all the fighting nerds somehow, some way became champions simultaneously. You know what? That just sparked the most beautiful idea in my mind, bro. That just sparked the most beautiful idea for a video in my mind, dude. I might honestly have to go and cook up this video real quick prior and then just hop right back on stream for a little bit. Dude, I'm about to cook, bro. I just yapped about the fighting nerds and just absolutely cooked up one of the most diabolical videos that I think I can. I gotta write some of this down real quick because that was good, bro. Shout out the UFC. Shout out the UFC for UFC. Dog. Bangers dropping tomorrow, dude. Absolute bangers dropping tomorrow. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, Mauricio Ruffi is the one guy that I feel like out of all the fighting nerds would be the dude to screw up a chance for them. But that's not even necessarily saying like Mauricio Ruffi couldn't be champion. I think he could. I think Mauricio Ruffi is pretty good. And he's got like technique that isn't just basic, you know what I mean? Like it's very nifty, shifty, crafty per se. Mauricio Ruffi, where is Mauricio ranked? Let me see. UFC. I'm curious, dude, and now that I think about it, let me see the pathway for Ruffi to get up there and challenge for a belt, because he can't be too far away. He just beat Bobby King Green. He just beat Bobby King Green, sorry, not Bobby. It's no longer Bobby. It's just King Green, who was ranked like 19, 20, just outside the rankings. Where do they have Mauricio Ruffi ranked? What, am I tripping, or is he not even... He's not even in the top 25? What? Oh, he's number 22? What? That's it? Dang, bro. So Ruffi's going to have... Oh, wait, no. That was probably prior to his fight with King Green. He's probably going to be ranked number 18. So Ruffi comes in. Maybe he gets BSD. Maybe they match up Benoit Saint... Is Benoit Saint Denis matched up with anyone? That'd be absolutely, like, criminal. That'd be absolutely criminal of the UFC to do something like that. Match up Benoit Saint Denis with Mauricio Ruffi after the two devastating losses that he took. But also, I feel like BSD could out-grapple Mauricio Ruffi potentially. You know what I mean? BSD's a very good grappler. So realistically, let's just talk pathway for Mauricio. Fights up. He fights Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis could probably beat him, but let's just say he doesn't. Let's just say Mauricio Ruffi wins. Mauricio Ruffi fights BSD, he wins. Boom. Next up, Grant Dawson. Wait, actually... Or would I want him fighting a striker? Would I give him like an Ignacio Bahamondes or a Joel Alvarez? Regardless, so he's going to have to fight number 16 BSD or number 17, whatever. BSD is right outside the rankings. Then he's going to have to fight to get into the rankings. If Paddy the Baddy somehow loses to Michael Chandler, boom. Fight Paddy the Baddy. That'd be a good fight. If Michael Chandler somehow, well, depending on how quickly they want to rocket up Mauricio Rufy. In all honesty, his pathway is probably going to be a little bit longer than this. But in terms of like all the fighting nerds being champions at the same exact time, Rufy needs this to happen. He fights BSD, beats BSD, takes no damage, comes out, fights the loser of Paddy versus Michael Chandler, beats the loser of that fight. Boom. Next up, assuming the rankings haven't changed, or maybe, a guy like Joel Alvarez works his way up the rankings, Ignacio Bahamondes, someone who's going to be ranked anywhere from like 10 to 6. That'd be a good fight for Rufy. Ideally, the UFC likes him. They match him up with, maybe an old head that's like just leaving the rankings there. You know what I mean? Justin Gaethje starts dropping down, and he starts, losing his touch, his power, his quickness. And that's saying in like a year and a half, 2 years, you know what I mean? Later on down the road, not now. Boom. Fights up, wins that. Then he gets a top 5 fight. If he wins that, he's the UFC champion. So realistically, that's what? 1 fight versus BSD. 2 fights versus the loser of Paddy the Baddy and Iron Chandler. 3 fights for making it into the top 10. Another fight. So 4 fights. Nah, I think he's going to have more than that. Maybe I'm like speed rushing him. This is like the ideal situation. Is he fights 4 times, fights literally the perfect way up, and then gets a title shot. But I think they might make Rufy fight like 5 or 6 times. Who knows? He's only got, I think, like 3 fights in the UFC, no? Am I mistaken or am I mistaken? Mistaken. Let me see. Rufy might only have like 3 fights in the UFC. Yeah, he's got 3 fights in the UFC and 1 in the Dana White Contender Series, which technically is in the UFC. Because we have seen some stuff that's came out of the Dana White Contender Series. I mean, we've seen it all. So, yeah, dude. That's a good pathway. So realistically, if Rufy can get the belt in 4 fights, his 5th, well, technically his 5th fight would be for the championship belt then, huh? Yeah, that's going to be a while. Man, that's going to be a hot minute, dude. Man, oh man. The realistic pathway for all four of these guys, that would be epic. I know I just said that like 14 times during this stream already, but that would be absolutely epic. For all four fighting nerds to become champions and simultaneously be able to defend. Can you imagine? I feel like these guys would be fighting nonstop, bro. I feel like we get a fighting nerd title shot literally once a month. Or a title fight defense once a month. That would be insane. But even aside from all that, I feel like all four of these guys, maybe not Rufi, but no, dude, they've all fought so... Bro, they've all fought at least 3 times a year. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Oh, wait, no. Rufi only fought twice last year. Obviously, once this year. I know Jean Silva fights a lot, and so does Prates. Prates had like 4 fights last year. Silva had probably 4, maybe 3, if I'm not mistaken. Kyle fights probably twice a year, too. I mean, he's ranked a little bit higher, so it's kind of hard for a guy like Kyle to be fighting as constantly. Unless you're the UFC champ, then it's a little different, but... You know, not everyone wants to fight you, especially when you're up and coming. Shout out Jared Cannonier for giving him the chance, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that would be absolutely... Dude, the UFC would be completely different. The UFC would be absolutely, like, flipped upside down, I feel like. Yuri and Ankalaev... I don't know about that. I don't know about Yuri Ankalaev. Just... The thing with Yuri versus Ankalaev is Yuri Prohaska has already lost to the champion that Ankalaev beat. I know styles make fights. I know obviously Yuri Prohaska would be able to jump in and you know, fight pretty much immediately, but I don't know, man. If Carlos Ulberg puts on a crazy performance, then again, Yuri is ranked number 2. I mean, and he knocked out Jamal Hill. He also knocked out Jamal Hill. And I'm not really putting as much credit on that win as I should, bro. Like, he knocked out Jamal Hill. He battered Jamal Hill up. Yuri Prohaska versus Magomed Ankalaev would actually be a pretty epic fight. And now that I'm thinking about it, it could happen. It could happen. I know Yuri Prohaska's lost to Alex Pereira twice, but that's it. Yuri has literally not lost to anyone. That would be kind of sick. Man, dude, Yuri is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, but the 2 losses literally to Alex Pereira. In fact, Yuri Prohaska's record is literally only tainted with Alex Pereira losses. Like, that's the craziest part about it. Yo, what's up? What's up, brother? What's up, Vladimir? Yeah, I'm just yapping about Magomed Ankalaev and Yuri Prohaska right now and the fact that this fight could happen. Yuri's literally only lost to Alex Pereira. Do they make a rematch? Do they give Poatan a rematch? I mean, he did have 4 knockouts in a row against top 3 guys. Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska twice. Like, it could... Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. But Poatan looked like a shell of himself. He might want to take some time off before he fights again. Yuri Prohaska's ready, bro. He's always ready. And Magomed Ankalaev might want to defend in a few months, like 2-3 months. It'll be interesting, dude. I hope Magomed Ankalaev is active. Obviously, I don't think we're ever going to see the activity level that we saw from Poatan, where he literally fought like 4 times in 300 days or some ridiculous stat like that, whatever he did. But yeah, dude, I would not mind. It would make the most sense because Poatan has, dude, he's dominated the top of this division up until, Magomed came into his way. The win over Jamal Hill, the win over Yuri Prohaska, the fight that he had against, Khalil Roundtree, bro. Poatan has done more than enough to earn a rematch. But it's like, what if Carlos Olberg comes in and just somehow destroys Jan Blachowicz in like 30 seconds and gets like a crazy, convincing win, and that just shoots him up against Magomed Ankalaev, or I don't know, Yuri Prohaska sneaks his way in there. Now that Magomed Ankalaev, originally I was a little ticked off, I was a little mad in the moment. I had a lot of Shama bias. So I'm not going to lie, when Magomed Ankalaev originally won, I didn't have an open mind. And then someone actually popped into my stream and convinced me essentially that Magomed Ankalaev winning the light heavyweight title opens so many doors. The Yuri Prohaska versus Ankalaev fight. Dude, epic. And we don't have to worry about Yuri getting a random trilogy because Yuri, I mean, he's dominated the rest of the division too, aside from Alex. Alex also could get the rematch too, and I feel like next time around, I don't think I see Alex Pereira being as tentative as he is, or as he was. Clearly that didn't work out for him. You know what I mean? It was weird seeing that even happen. Yeah, dude. I mean, the light heavyweight division has so much going on now. Like I said, just because Magomed Ankalaev won the title. The rematch makes sense, like you're saying. But also, you got all these up-and-comers too, like Carlos Olberg. You got, shoot, I'm forgetting his name right now. Let me see. Maybe I was just thinking of Carlos Olberg because there's not really too many younger guys even in the top 15. Alonzo Menefield, I mean, he's got to work his way up. Bogdan Guskov, he's got to work his way up. Dominic Reyes has been on a tear. He has been killing it. But man, dude, it's like the light heavyweight division is coming alive again. We don't have to worry. Yeah, we're gonna miss the back to back knockouts, but we don't need to see rematches of these guys that are getting knocked out get knocked out again, which is good. You know what I mean? Magomed Ankalaev has shook up the division. Reyes versus Rakic, I like that fight a lot, dude. That would be a pretty dope fight, actually. Give Reyes a chance to hop back up into the rankings. It's crazy to think that Reyes was a round away from being a UFC champion on some scorecards. You know what I mean? It's just, it blows my mind. And then to see him, drop down in the rankings the way he did, take those brutal losses the way he did. But he's bouncing back. That's the sick thing about Dominic Reyes. He's bouncing back, bro. And he hasn't lost it, dude. Dominic Reyes still has all that power. Dude, Dominic Reyes versus Rakic would be absolutely epic. If he jumps back into the top 5, that would be sick. I'm just thinking of like a glory moment where Dominic Reyes climbs all the way back up into the leaderboard, like not the leaderboards, the rankings, sorry. And then he just gets a title shot and then wins it, bro. Are you kidding me? That would be such a feel-good moment for me, for Dominic Reyes. I feel like for a lot of fans, you know, it'd just be epic to see Dominic Reyes win the belt. Does he have to defend a lot of times? No, bro. I don't really mind Dominic Reyes defending it a lot of times. It's just, it'd be sick to see him get up there and win it. Bogdan Guskov is kind of a sneaky dark horse in that division. He does deserve it, bro. He really does deserve it. And like I said, it'd be such a... Dude, it would warm my heart, bro. It would absolutely warm my heart if Dominic Reyes came in and whoever was currently champion at the time, he gets a shot. You know, he faces a little bit of adversity at first. You know what I'm saying? He gets us on our toes, takes a couple big shots. You know what I mean? I cringe a little bit here and there. I react a little bit. And then all of a sudden, come round 2, he has a Leon moment. You know what I mean? His coach is just on the bench. Come on, Reyes. Come on, man. You got to step up. You're fighting for what you were owed years ago, dog. You got to get this. You deserve this. And then Reyes just goes out, head kick KO whoever the current UFC champion is. Boom. Dominic Reyes, the official UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, that'd be epic, bro. That'd be sick. I need to see Tom Aspinall getting a freaking shot, dude, for crying out loud. Do I know what FNC is? No, I don't. What is that? Yeah, I am, bro. But yeah, heavyweight, dude, Tom Aspinall needs to get his shot. Volkov got robbed by Cyril Gane, bro. Volkov got robbed by Cyril Gane and the judges. That was disgusting. Volkov could also fight for a title, especially if he wins his next fight. I could see Dana having a change of heart and just being like, all right, we got to get you the belt, bro. Or got to get you a chance at the belt. Jailton Almeida, bro. I know he's coming off of some pretty good wins, but I don't know that he could like make a run at the title. So I'm not gonna. He should go down to light heavyweight. Jailton Almeida would be a beast at light heavyweight. If he just cut a little bit of weight, he would be a beast at light heavyweight, dude. Oh, it's a dude, I'm gonna check it out right now, actually. Just tab it. That way I can look into it. Do they ever have fighters that come out of there that fight for bigger promotions? Like, I watch EFL. Obviously, I watch UFC. I'll watch ONE FC occasionally, but not really. Like, I'm not, you know, big on ONE FC or any of the other organizations, but dude, I'd definitely check it out, bro. I got it popped up right here, tabbed in my Tapology. They got an event on April 12th. Okay. Yeah, they got an event on April 12th. That's kind of sick. I'll definitely check that out. Dude, and not to mention, when I look at Jailton Almeida, he's so strong. Like, he's throwing... Obviously, most of these heavyweights don't have the grappling ability that he has. But, I mean, he just overpowers these guys. You know, obviously, he's a better grappler, but he's so strong, too. To think if he cut just a little bit of weight, you know, maybe slim down a little bit, and then... He doesn't even have to cut a lot of weight, bro. Jailton Almeida weighs like, what, 225, maybe 230 pounds? I think he tried to bulk up for his most recent fight, too. He was like 235. Jailton Almeida, if he just went down to his normal, like, 215, 220-ish range, didn't try and put on that extra mass and just cut a little weight, bro, he'd be a menace at 205. I literally can't. There's not even a single fighter at 205 that could keep up with his grappling. Literally, there's not a single fighter that could keep up with his grappling. I don't even think Magomed Ankalaev could keep up with Jailton Almeida's grappling. And Magomed Ankalaev's a pretty good grappler too, bro. Oh, dude, are you serious? Ante fights in that league? I've heard of Ante before. If I'm not mistaken, he fought for... maybe he didn't. No, he fought for PFL, did he not? Yeah, bro. Dude, I've seen his fight. That's sick, dog. Yeah, he's got some yeah, bro. That's sick, dude. Magomed Ankalaev and Jailton Almeida would be a epic fight. Like I said, I think, Magomed Ankalaev would definitely have the striking advantage there. And if Jailton Almeida doesn't gas, if he conserves his energy, if he paces himself. Yes, sir, bro. Ante is a beast, dude. He's getting a little bit older in age, but yeah, he's sick. He's sick. I don't think I've seen like his earlier stuff, but I have seen a few of his recent fights because I didn't start watching PFL until maybe 2022-ish. Maybe 2020. Yeah, I want to say like 2022. So I remember a few of his... Dude, I actually... When he fought his last fight, I want to say it was last year, I do remember him getting knocked out. And that was when... I can't remember if I put some money on him or what had happened there. Maybe I didn't, or maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember now. But it is like jogging my memory a little bit that I was not only emotional because I lost my money, but the fact that he just lost and the Croatian heritage was there. It was a little detrimental. I'm not going to lie. But, I didn't have an emotional connection to him. Like I said, it was maybe one of my first few times watching PFL. So, but no, he's a good fighter, dude. And I just checked. For some reason, I thought he was older, but he's 34. So, I mean, he's still got time, man. Really, dude? Aspinall trains with Ante? That is sick. That is actually sick, bro. That warms my heart so much hearing that, dude. Thank you for sharing, bro, because that warms my heart so much, dog. Dude, I speak it pretty fluently. I text it, I type it, I speak it. A lot of people wouldn't believe that because I don't really have like a thick accent or even a noticeable accent. At least that's what I get told. But yeah, no, I'm fluent in Croatian and then obviously English too. Nah, that's epic. But yeah, heavyweight's in a weird position. Heavyweight's definitely in a weird position. There's a lot of people in there that I don't know. Like, I just saw the UFC literally bumped up Talison Teixeira to number 14 after beating a Tafa brother. That blew my mind. Meanwhile, you got Mick Parkin, who's on like what, a 4 or 5 fight win streak. How many wins does Mick Parkin have in the UFC? Yeah, okay. Dude, yeah, bro, Mick Parkin is... I mean, to be fair, he's taking fights to decision. Polishin is just finishing guys, but... Mick Parkin's 4-0 with a Dana White Contender Series win. And he's ranked literally right above Talison Teixeira. That's crazy. And to think, like, a win... exactly. The Tafa brothers, like... That's what doesn't make any sense to me because I'm trying to think. I'm like, Well, maybe if it was, a very convincing win over, an established heavyweight, maybe like Waldo Acosta, I could see them bumping him. But the Tafa brothers were they? Did they even crack the rankings? I don't even think they ever cracked the rankings. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't remember it. Oh, but then you look at middleweight contenders on contenders. You got Imavov. You got Hamzat Chimaev, who's next. You got Barayo, who's literally right after that. Like, he gets another win. He's fighting for the title. And I definitely think he beats Sean Strickland, Izzy, and Robert Whittaker. Dude, yeah, they cut Rosenstruck. I think it might have been, because I was looking into that. I was actually pretty pissed off. Now, I don't know the exact details. I don't know 100% what had happened. You can't quote me on this, but I did see some rumors that essentially said they fell out with contract negotiations. Like, Rosenstruck was asking for more than what the UFC was willing to do. And I guess he might have just, I don't know, pushed the wrong buttons on the wrong day or something. But they basically cut him because they couldn't come to a consensus with him, which is kind of messed up if you think about it. But it's a business, man. It's a business. And to be fair, Rosenstruck should not have beat Shamil Gaziev. I feel like if Gaziev was not injured, because Shamil Gaziev literally broke his hand in that fight, and you really can't fault him for it. It's like, if you break maybe a toe or something in a fight, I guess, you could find a way to box, maybe try and get it to the ground. But when you break your hand, like, not only can you not punch, but you can't grapple either. Like, you can't do anything. So the biggest issue there is that Rosenstruck didn't finish it. Maybe if he would have finished Gaziev, then yeah, but I don't know. The UFC is so weird. Like, they'll keep Tai Tuivasa, who's on a 6 or 5 fight losing streak. Tai Tuivasa is on a 5-fight losing streak, and he is ranked number 10. Let that sink in. Tai Tuivasa is on a 5-fight losing streak. 5-fight losing streak. And he's still ranked top 10. That's actually ridiculous. Do I know Boyan? No, I don't, bro. I'm still you'll learn pretty quickly that I'm very passionate about this sport. But when it comes to mixed martial arts, like fighters that he's the Octagon tournament champion. You watch a lot of MMA. You watch a lot of MMA, don't you? How long have you been watching MMA for? Serbian Steel, bro. I love that, dude. That's fire. On a 4-fight win streak, too. Does he fight anymore? Boyan? Oh, okay. That's sick, dude. That is absolutely sick. Yeah, I'm not really, hip to the regional scene. The only time I am is when I start, like, looking into fighters due to fight picks, and then I'll watch, a few of the regional guys and the up-and-coming guys fight them. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm not really hip. I want to get into the regional scene, too, though. I definitely want to get into... Like, I love watching mixed martial arts, regardless of what stage it is. Do you live there currently? Or are you just from there? Also, you were assuming you're saying you're from there. Were you born in Serbia? Or are you just from, like, your parents are from there and you kind of just, like, you're essentially from there because of your parents. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm overcomplicating this sentence, but... Yeah, bro, spit it at me. A huge prospect? You're talking like a youngin', fresh in his early 20s, like knocking dudes out left and right. Dude, that's sick, bro. Have you lived there your whole life, or? That is sick, dude. My stream is reaching all the way to serve. That's sick AF, dog. Thank you for joining the stream, dude. Thank you for saying what's up. I appreciate you. Nah, bro. I couldn't even tell. Dog, you got some good English, bro. Unless you're just hitting Google Translate on all this, but then you wouldn't be responding as fast as you are. Maybe you're reading translations. I don't know. Maybe it's like an anime kind of thing where you're just reading the translations. But I'm going to assume that you speak at least a little bit of English. You're typing, I mean, you're chatting right now is pretty good, dog. By the way, who is that prospect, dude? Now I'm sitting here anticipating you, like, typing out the prospects so I can look them up and look into them. I can expect him in the... Are you going to drop the name, dog, or what? Are you going to drop the name? He's 22 years old, and I can expect him in the UFC soon. Oh, my God. So you're telling me if I see this guy as an underdog coming up, I have to just put an insane amount of bread on them, is what you're saying. Marko Bojkovic. Okay. The Skull Crusher, dog. The Skull Crusher? Bro. Bro, I'm literally tuning into that event. I'm literally tuning into the FNC and I'm watching that live. I swear I might even stream it. Or not stream the fights because I'd probably get hit with a fat copyright, but I might go live and just watch it and dude. I'm gonna have to wait, so is there like a website where they upload these fights, or they have like a YouTube channel or something? FNC? Or is it something I have to pay for? Is it like I have to get a subscription to somewhere and like pay for that? FNCM, they have a YouTube. Oh my God, dude, their YouTube is kind of sick. With headquarters in Zagreb. They have an IG. Yeah, dude, I just pulled up their YouTube and their first video, the official after movie, FNC 20, dog. Dude, this looks like better production than the UFC's YouTube channel. I'm not even gonna... Oh my God, dude. Oh, this is epic. just know you opened up an entire like whole new. Not only am I going to tune in to the rest of these live cards, as long as it's not on like some crazy pay-per-view night or you know, some insane fight night that I can't miss, so I can't tune into this. And there's no possible way for me to watch it on two screens. I'm literally going to be tuning in to every single event. So is FNC like the top organization over where you live? Like, is this it? Is this like the UFC of like Yugoslavia essentially? Is that what I'm hearing? Let's see. And do they have, it looks like they have almost, well, 2024. Dude, wait, so this is like a brand new organization then, right? They're only a few years old, literally. FNC 1 was back in 2019. That's like, what? Bro, that's crazy, dude. They are literally brand new. Like, this is an organization literally blooming in front of our eyes right now. Dude, Belgrade event live. I've never been to a mixed martial arts event or like an MMA event in general. I've been to like some side, you know, like wrestling events, like some WWE, you know, like wrestling, like nothing crazy. And I've been to, you know, a few wrestling matches. Like I've seen a few of them, but that was like back in high school, like, you know, a few years ago. So I've never seen an actual mixed martial arts event live, bro. Like, I'm not hip enough to the regional scene. Dude, that is crazy, bro. This is a brand new organization, like, still waiting to bloom. 23 events. Aside from their amateur events, it looks like. Wow, bro. I'm so glad you brought this up. I'm just glad that you opened up like a brand new world of MMA and mixed martial arts for me, dude. Seriously. This is sick. Wait, why is it not showing me? Why is it not showing me a fight card, bro, on Tapology? I would have figured Tapology would have had. Oh, because that's for the May card. They're probably not gonna show that until they complete the card. I watch Bojkovic matches, even from amateur matches. Has he been competing amateur in here then? When did he turn pro? All the Balkan boys, dog. This is sick. Nah, this is sick. This is a whole new world just opened. Door just flying wide open right now. It's kind of crazy how mixed martial arts in general is just like growing. I saw something talking about like views essentially, which doesn't really mean anything, but yeah, I'm not gonna yap anymore, bro. Listen, appreciate you tuning into the live, dog. Appreciate you opening up my eyes and my brain and this whole new world, dog. And enjoy the rest of your night. Good night, bro. Deuces. Appreciate you. FNC. FNC. Yeah, so W viewer, bro. Now I have another organization to tune into. A very promising organization, not some down under the water, like organization that's just growing some random fighters that are just putting on MMA shows to put on MMA shows. This is the real deal. I wonder if Tapology is just going to pop it up regularly like this, or if I have to go in to FNC. Yeah, I have to go into FNC. I mean, dude, this is going to be, dude, sick. Absolutely sick. All I'm going to say is I'm tabbing this. And I'm subscribing to their YouTube channel right now. Wait a slickety second. Oh, because I put FMC. FNC subscribed. That's sick. Yeah, man. That is sick. Listen, if you're still in the stream, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to chow on some food. I'll be right back. I'm back. Had to blow up the bathroom real quick, but I'm back. Yeah, so what was I yapping about before Vladimir came in and told me all about that organization that I've literally never heard of, but now I'm kind of hyped to watch? FNC. Let me get rid of this real quick. All right, cool. Yeah, I was yapping about the UFC divisions, how heavyweight is ridiculous. Heavyweight is ridiculous, and who is going to get the next shot? I mean, we're literally bumping up Talison Teixeira for knocking out a Tafa brother to rank number 14. Meanwhile, Mick Parkin has 4 wins in the UFC, and he's ranked 1 ranking above Talison. Now, it's not like Mick Parkin has beat anyone spectacular either, but what? The rankings make no sense. The rankings make no sense. And then you got Tai Tuivasa at number 10, coming off of 5 losses, or 6 losses, whatever his situation or deal is. What? Bro, what? Yeah, that heavyweight's all over the place. Ankalaev, I'm not going to lie, the more I think about it, the more I do understand that Ankalaev did low-key make light heavyweight great again. Like, he kind of did. I was really blinded by the Shama and the wide range of, like, the wide range of just, like, essentially widespread. What's the right term that I'm looking for? Influence, I guess. Not really, but like the fact that so many people, even if you didn't watch UFC, knew what the Shama was, knew the Alex Pereira dance. Like, everyone was known. Even people who didn't watch mixed martial arts knew who Alex Pereira was. Kind of. Not on the level of, someone like Conor McGregor, obviously, but Alex Pereira was huge. Obviously, I thought it was going to be detrimental to the light heavyweight division if he lost. Magomed Ankalaev opens up so much opportunity for the light heavyweight division. Literally, a fight versus Yuri Prochazka, absolutely epic. Rematch against Alex Pereira, which I think Magomed Ankalaev this time around is going to win even more easily. The fact that he knows exactly what he needs to do and all he's going to do is work on it now, especially if he knows the rematch is coming. Pereira's got to do a lot of stuff different. Like, he can't be investing in those leg kicks. Clearly, they didn't do enough. Clearly, they didn't do what Pereira and his team thought they were going to do. But then you got Yuri Prochazka waiting, who's only lost to Alex, and he's coming off a pretty good win against Jamal Hill. Yuri is definitely up there in the spot to fight. Jan Blachowicz, if he defends, or even if Carlos Ulberg wins, if Jan Blachowicz defends his number 3, or if Carlos Ulberg takes it, there's another matchup right there that's, waiting to basically burst out a contender in Carlos Ulberg, and potentially even Jan Blachowicz if he ends up winning. I mean, he could be fighting for a title too, bro. He literally had a draw against Magomed Ankalaev for a title fight. Like, they could call for this again. Unfinished business. Rakic, I don't see getting a title shot. However, someone brought up in my chat earlier, Rakic would be a very fun fight with Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes and Rakic, I think, should fight. Khalil Rountree's fighting Jamal Hill. Volkan Ozdemir, Nikita Krylov. I don't really know what to do with those guys. Volkan, is he coming off of a win? Nah. Ulberg just won. Ulberg just beat him. But yeah, light heavyweight, I mean, it's got a lot. It's got the Yuri, it's got Jan, it's got Alex Pereira rematch. Carlos Olberg, a new up-and-comer that might burst into the scene. I love it. Middleweight almost has too much going on. Hamzat Chimaev, Nasruddin Imavov is up next after. Caio Barrio is probably up right after that. Like, you got literally 3 dudes in line that need title fights. Now, if the UFC does some effed up stuff, like puts Imavov up against Caio, that'd be kind of tragic, but hopefully they give Caio like an Israel Adesanya or a Robert Whittaker. You know what I mean? And then Caio just beats one of those 2 guys, preferably not Robert Whittaker. I don't really need to see Robert Whittaker losing anymore. In fact, I think I've seen enough. I think I've seen enough of Robert Whittaker losing. I've had to sit through this guy getting knocked out by Dricus du Plessis, and then his jaw literally incaved by Hamzat Chimaev. That was insane. So I think I've had enough of Robert Whittaker. On the other hand, though, you look at welterweight too, man. Welterweight is also stacked. Like, you have 3 contenders lined up at middleweight. You literally have just as many lined up at welterweight. Bilal Muhammad is now defending against Jack Della Maddalena. Shavkat Rakhmonov is after. You could argue that Kamaru Usman could get a title shot, bro. Like, you could argue that Kamaru Usman could fight for a title, especially if, like, everyone in the top 5 can't. You know what I mean? They could sneak Kamaru Usman in there. He's done UFC a lot of favors. And dude, when you look at the Kamaru Usman and Hamzat Chimaev fight, Kamaru Usman proved basically everyone wrong. Like, a lot of people were going to come out and pretend like Kamaru Usman didn't have a chance. Kamaru Usman kind of stood his ground in that fight, bro. Oh, it sucks though, man. He's coming off of 3 losses, but 2 of them majority decision, which you could argue he honestly could have won too. I don't know. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so weird. The position that Kamaru Usman's in. He could also fight for a title. Coming off of 3 losses, it'd have to be some crazy case scenario where Shavkat isn't ready. The winner of Leon and Sean Brady also isn't ready. And then, like, Buckley can't step in either. Then I could see Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman should fight Joaquin Buckley. Buckley's been calling him out. That would be a dope fight. And that's a very winnable fight for Kamaru, too. Also for Buckley, but Kamaru Usman, too. Kamaru could win that fight. But yeah, Jack, Shavkat, winner of Leon Brady. That's already 3 people lined up. And then you could argue Buckley, too. Buckley, too, could also get a title shot off that dismantling of Colby Covington. You know what I mean? So you got a lot going on at welterweight. Obviously, lightweight always has a lot going on. Lightweight always has a lot going on. Justin Gaethje's right back in the title mix. Charles Oliveira's there. Arman Tsarukyan is also there. You know what I mean? Dana White, as much as he hates Arman Tsarukyan is in the title picture. Max Holloway with a pretty solid win could get up there. Dan Hooker is coming off a hand injury, so I don't see him really doing much. Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. I mean, if one of those 2 guys gets a pretty convincing win and then fights very shortly after, I mean, that could be one of those title fights, sneaky title fights too. I could see it right now. If Paddy the Baddy beats Michael Chandler, I could see the UFC propelling him to literally number 5, like ahead of Max Holloway and Dan Hooker, solely due to the fact that Max Holloway's coming off a loss and Dan Hooker is injured. I don't know why, but the UFC would be on some shady stuff with that, dude. Like, I could see them pulling something like that. But lightweight is always stacked, and we don't even know what Islam Makhachev's going to be doing. I mean, hopefully he doesn't vacate. I would hate for Islam Makhachev to vacate, to try and move up to middleweight, and then all of a sudden Jack Della Maddalena beats Bilal Muhammad. And then it's like, well, dude, that could have arguably been one of the most perfect matchups for Islam Makhachev at welterweight. Jack Della is good, he's strong, but Islam could out wrestle him. Obviously, Jack's always live to get a knockout, but I don't know, something about it just screams easier matchup than basically any other. Like, who else? Maybe a Sean Brady, like Islam. That would be maybe an easier matchup for him. I don't know. I'm not sure. Regardless, though, hopping up all the way to middleweight to fight Dricus du Plessis, that is a little insane if you ask me. That is a little insane if you ask me. That's a 30-pound difference, bro. It's a 30-pound jump. That's a little insane. Something about it. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure my stream is still going and the audio is still good. Oh, I still have trauma from the one stream that I had. I literally had to take it down. It was such a good stream too, but didn't have my microphone working at all. No one joined my stream, so I had no idea that the audio was kind of crappy. In fact, it wasn't like the audio itself wasn't crappy. It was the fact that you could blast it like on the loudest speaker ever and barely hear what I was saying. So that just gives me trauma. I'm always constantly like trying to check and make sure that my volume is actually working. The stream isn't just not working. Aside from that, though, featherweight's got a lot going on too, man. Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes are fighting for a UFC championship belt. The beautiful thing about featherweight is there's a lot going on, but very little that's established. Like we have Lopes, Volk, who are fighting. Max Holloway's left the division. Movsar Evloev is obviously next after Lopes and Volkanovski. But it isn't anything crazy where you have a bunch of contenders lined up. Yair Rodriguez, if he beats Patricio Pitbull, or if Pitbull beats him, you know, I could see one of those two guys getting a title shot. Josh Emmett is fighting Lerone Murphy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Lerone Murphy, April 5th. Josh Emmett, Lerone Murphy. Winner of that, you get a pretty solid matchup against the loser of Yair and Pitbull. Maybe the loser of Volk Lopes, if it's not a close fight. You know what I mean? Movsar goes in, he gets the title shot against the winner. Winner of Yair and Patricio Pitbull goes that route. Or goes, not winner of Yair Patricio, winner of Emmett and Lerone Murphy. Goes that route. I mean, and then Yusuf Zalal sneaking his way up into the rankings. John Silva could sneak up into number 13 or number 12 too, depending on where the UFC feels like they want to put him. John Silva is going to be sick. He's definitely going to be fighting for a UFC championship. Is he going to win? That's a whole new question and a whole nother story in a video that I'm going to be dropping tomorrow, by the way. The Fighting Nerds video. It's going to be epic, so tune into that. Well, yeah, man, there's a lot going on with featherweight. You look at bantamweight too. Bantamweight is a little bit different. You have Merab, who's OP and literally has a win over like 70% of the division, right? You have Sean O'Malley, who's still somehow ranked number 1. Not still. I get it. Okay, Umar Nurmagomedov was ranked a little lower and he lost to Merab just like Sean did. But you got Piotr Jan, who's right up there to get a title shot. You got Sean O'Malley getting a rematch, already confirmed by Dana White. You got Umar Nurmagomedov, who's, right there too. It's just a bunch of rematches. Like, it's literally just a bunch of rematches. I feel bad for guys like Corey Sandhagen and Figueiredo, who, like, Figgy, depending on what route the UFC wants to take, I think Figgy, I don't know, dude. I have no idea. Sandhagen is coming off a loss to Nurmagomedov, and Figgy's coming off a loss to Piotr Jan. So it's like maybe they make Figgy Sandhagen. The winner of that fight fights the loser of whoever Merab fights for the title next, probably Sean O'Malley. If it's Sandhagen and he beats Sean O'Malley, Sandhagen could be fighting for the title. If Figueiredo beats Sandhagen, beats Sean O'Malley, or the loser of the Sean O'Malley and Merab fight, that could be, dude, bantamweight is stacked. And not to mention, I mean, you have some up-and-coming killers like Mario Bautista. Mario Bautista. The complete opposite of a killer. You have Mario Bautista ranked at number 10, but not just Mario Bautista. You have Marcus McGee. You have Eamon Zahabi. Montel Jackson, too, who's a pretty good up-and-comer. I'm a little bit higher on Montel Jackson than Kyler Phillips. I'm going to be honest, but still, epic matchups just waiting to be made. Song Yadong, bro. Oh, man, dude. Bantamweight is cooking. And then flyweight, obviously flyweight is a whole different animal. I mean, we're going to be seeing number 8, number 9, number 10 ranked guys getting title shots pretty soon because it's crazy. I hope Tatsuro Taira gets another win and then gets a title shot. I can't believe he's not scheduled yet. He fought in October. Like, it's already been 4 months, 5 months since he fought. 5 months since he fought and he doesn't have a fight scheduled. That's not good. I hope he gets, his chance to reprove himself. A split decision loss to Brandon. Dude, Royval is a dog. Royval is a dog. A split decision loss to Brandon Royval. That is not a bad loss at all. As far as I'm concerned, Tatsuro Taira should still be undefeated and be fighting for a title right now. But he's not. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Manel Kopp's been calling for his shot since day one. He just poked Asuel Mabayev to a victory. I don't know how much the UFC is going to like that. I don't know if that's going to do him any good for a title shot. But there's potential. You know what I mean? There is potential. It could happen. We've seen some crazier stuff. We saw Steve Erceg get a title shot at like what rank was he? Was he like 10 or 11 or something? I can't even remember. Hold on. Pantoja versus Erceg. Tale of the tape. Oh, lucky me. They literally have the fight uploaded on their YouTube. Wow. It's not even the YouTube UFC. It's some sort of pitch sports channel, and they literally have a random UFC for Mega. Who's for Mega? For Mega. Bro, it's disgusting. They literally clickbaited the living crap out of me. And my UFC app is being stupid right now. I could have swore it was on their channel though. Am I mistaken? Yeah, dude, the UFC has it on their channel. Here we go. So now I have it on the UFC. Steve Erceg was ranked number 10 when he fought Pantoja. Nothing is out of the question when it comes to flyweight. Now, who do I think could get the next shot? Manel Kopp has a huge chance. I don't know if the Brandon Royval and the Brandon Moreno, I don't know if the Brandons are gonna get a title shot, bro. It just doesn't seem like the right thing to do right now. Pantoja literally has cooked these guys twice. Amir Albazi could sneak in there. I mean, he was out of his fight due to injury. I caught a France. Oh my God, Manel Kopp, dude. The flyweight division kind of has a bunch of killers right now. Kai Kata is coming up. Kai Kata is coming off a win too. A pretty good knockout win against Steve Erceg. Ooh-wee, man. Ooh-wee. Steve Erceg has been dropping like a fly, though. Dang, wait, why did they drop Steve Erceg like that so recently? I guess that makes sense. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the pound for pound rankings. I'm over here. I'm like, why was there so much movement in the division? Because it said Alex Pereira dropped 5 rankings, but I was correlating it over to Steve Erceg. The UFC website is a little weird. A little strange. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, it's... And then listen, for WMMA, all I gotta say is we need to see Shevchenko versus Weili. We need to see Shevchenko versus Weili. Number 1 pound for pound versus number 2 pound for pound. And this would be an absolutely epic fight. Valentina Shevchenko is good. Weili, I think, would destroy her. Weili, I think, would destroy her. Especially if Shevchenko is planning on coming up. I feel like they would give Shevchenko the chance to come up and fight Weili. Because I don't think Weili is cutting. Maybe she could, though. I mean, Weili... How many defenses does Weili have? Let me see here. Weili's got... Dang, Weili came into the UFC just... killing it. Killing it, bro. Weili is 1, 2... 10-2 in the UFC, bro. Weili's got 3 defenses right now. Shevchenko's got like 8 or 9, does she not? Yeah, Shevchenko has a lot of title defenses. She did lose to Alexa Grasso and then just came back and kind of whooped her. And to be fair, Alexa Grasso lost on UFC Noche. Like, that was crazy. What Shevchenko, in my opinion, won that fight. Split decision loss to Amanda Nunes. Kind of insane. Kind of insane. Yeah, she got... He's got a very quality resume, bro. And Shevchenko's been killing it, dude. She has 8 title defenses. 8 title defenses. That's insane. Or 8 title wins, technically. 9 title wins, 8 title defenses. But I guess if you don't want to simultaneously count like her second win against Alexa Grasso, because she lost via sub to her already and then didn't really defend, she got it back. But Shevchenko's done more work in her division. I think if anything, she deserves the move up. And she is number 1 pound for pound. If she beats Manon Fiorot, dude, there's literally no way. The UFC would fumble so hard. They could literally book this as a main pay-per-view. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Zhang Weili and Shevchenko would actually sell. Zhang Weili is the main event versus Valentina Shevchenko, number 1 versus number 2 pound for pound. And then you throw like, I don't know, you wouldn't even have to throw a title fight under there for, nah, you would. You would still have to throw a title fight to get like some more of the fans on top of like the event, but maybe you throw like, shoot, I don't even know. You wouldn't have to throw something crazy like Ilya versus Islam or like a Bilal versus Shavkat, you know what I mean? Even like a Dricus du Plessis versus Hamza. Like, you wouldn't have to throw something crazy like that on it. It would be more so like, dude, I don't even, you could throw like a contender fight on there. I'm not even going to lie to you. And that would still do numbers. Imavov versus Barrio. Caio Barrio. That would do numbers. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would. Maybe I'm over exaggerating and I really don't know how the numbers work. But at the end of the day, Islam is the one that's going to sell the numbers. Alex Pereira was, and then Ilia Topuria is like, those are the top 3 right there. I don't think Bilal. I don't think Magomed. Even Dricus du Plessis. Like, I'm sure Dricus is doing numbers, but not on the scale of Ilia, Islam, and, you know, Alex Pereira. But yeah, that's sick. That'll be sick. The UFC is in for a lot of treats. Man, it's already 9:15. And I have no one to yap to. Oh. Well, listen, if you are watching, which literally no one is watching except for me on my phone. But if you're watching this later on, if you're new, bro, subscribe to the channel. Drop a like, bro. Drop a like for the stream. Even if you're watching it afterward, skipping through it, you skip to the end somehow, some way, and find yourself here at this very moment. Just know it was meant to be. You were meant to drop a like. You were meant to subscribe. And other than that, man, I'll talk to you guys on the flip side. On the flip side. I'll talk to you guys on the flip. I thought I like did some weird stuff where I pulled off my toe or like ripped my toe off or something. That was kind of crazy. But anyways, yeah, appreciate everyone that popped into the stream, and I'll talk